Hi, I'm Jim Luckett of Sailboats to Go, and this video is going to show you how we strap the sail kit to a Sea Eagle 420X. The 380X is very similar, just a bit shorter, and this video will suffice to explain how to attach the sail kit to that kayak as well.
We've already done a video showing how this very same sail kit goes together and straps to a different family of kayaks. That other video is for the Bolt family of kayaks. That's B-O-L-T. That video is more detailed because we start with the metal parts not even strapped to the kayak and go through it in real time. So I invite you to watch the Bolt kayak assembly video if you want greater detail, and then come back here to see the strapping method for the Sea Eagle kayaks.
We will put on a link to the Bolt kayak assembly video. It should appear up here in the what would be upper right hand corner of your screen periodically during this video. Of course, YouTube may change the way that kind of linking works, or discontinue it, or move it over here, or whatever in the years to come during the life of this video, so I can't guarantee that it'll be here, but I hope so. Anyway, if I can, I'll put a link to the Bolt video on screen, and certainly there will be one in the details, the written description of the video that appears below the video itself when you're not in full screen mode. So without further ado, let's go look at how the sail kit straps on to the 420X kayak. You can see we have a front assembly and a rear assembly. So let's do the front assembly first. At the rear of each side rail, a short strap goes through the hole in the rear and through the last D-ring. These are the same D-rings that you'll use to attach seats, and they can share D-rings with the straps. Just because you have a strap through a D-ring does not mean that you can't also attach a seat to it. And then at the next D-ring, we have another short strap. These, of course, have to be tight because this intersection of the side rail telescopes in and out to adjust the length, and these lock that telescoping mechanism so that this cannot slide out. If you're putting the sail kit on a 380X, then this is the way it's going to look down at the ends of the side rails. Instead of having a strap through the extreme rear end of the side rail, you'll do away with that. You won't need a strap here. In fact, you can do away with this whole metal piece and just have the side rail stop here, because the leeboard mount ends up right at the forward D-ring on the side air chamber of the 380X. And so you just put a short strap right around the side rail in front of the leeboard mount and through that D-ring. And that's all you need at the rear end of the side rails. At the front end, it looks completely the same as the 420X. Okay, now we get up to the front crossbar. The most important strap for the whole front assembly is this one. It runs right through this center channel of the front crossbar and underneath the kayak and joins to itself. So you must remember to attach that strap. As a supplement, and not the primary means of attachment, we put a short strap diagonally across the juncture between the side rail and the front crossbar and through this plastic D-ring. And I emphasize it's plastic and not as strong as a metal D-ring, so this is only a supplementary or secondary means of attachment, kind of our belt and suspenders. The primary means of attachment is this very strong method of putting the long strap through the middle of the front crossbar and right around the kayak itself. Here it is on the other side. coming out the middle and going underneath. And if we lift up the kayak, we'll see that strap going right across, and you want to make sure you don't get any twists in it. So it lays nice and flat straight across, and it doesn't bother anything that way. Okay, same thing on the other side, diagonal strap going through the plastic D-ring. So that's the front assembly. Oh, forgot one thing. We have a single strap going from the mast step to the bow handle. And see, when we pull that tight, that makes everything nice and secure because we're pulling tension of the whole front assembly between those straps at the back ends of the side rail and this one here in front. Now the rear assembly. The rear assembly is a big T. You can see underneath the deck that the leg of the T is going all the way to the tail of the stern. And we just stick that under the splash cover of the rear deck. And then we run a medium length strap from the U-bolt to this D-ring on one side and from the back side of the U-bolt to this D-ring on the other side. And that arrests any tendency to have side-to-side movement, which is very important because you're going to be steering with this rear crossbar, and the reaction force of your pulling on a steering oar or pushing on a steering oar is going to get transmitted to the boat through this rear assembly, and it must not be allowed to shift side to side. In addition, we put a short strap just directly around the rear crossbar and through that same D-ring. Same here. Now, if you have a very old Sea Eagle Explorer and you don't have these D-rings, then you can use the plastic ones back here. And in that case, you may need to put the T, the leg of the T, on top of the splash deck so that it can go further back, so the whole rear assembly can shift back a bit. But it's been a long time since Sea Eagle added these D-rings in the rear, so I don't think there's too many folks who will have to do that. The steering oars, of course, plug into the ends of the rear crossbar, and then we add a short strap running right between the pivot bolt of the oar pin and the oar shaft itself and going underneath the rear crossbar, and that's very easily released when you want to take the oar out. You may be wondering why the attachment method doesn't make any reference to these strap handles, and the reason is that those are a feature that has appeared in some model years and disappeared in other model years, and so we don't want to make the attachment method dependent on them. Certainly if you've got them and you want to run the rear crossbar right under the strap handle as an additional method of securing it, you can still use the 4 straps that we talked about. Same thing on the front assembly. It's been several years since there were strap handles on the front of the 420X. I've got them here on this kayak, and if you've got them, you could put the front crossbar right under the strap handles, but they're not necessary, and we don't tell you to use them. Also, if you want to if you've got D-rings way up here like this, you could use them.
Now let's raise the sail. As you can see, the halyard is threaded right through an eye at the top of the mast and ties to the gaff about at the middle of the gaff. And when I pulled down on the halyard, that raised to the sail. Now to keep the sail up, I'm tying it to the front crossbar. I actually folded the rope over so I didn't have to work with the full length of the rope, and then I tie a double half hitch. You could just Google tying a double half hitch to see how that's done if you're not familiar with the knot. It's the simplest and most universally useful knot that there is. Now I'm attaching the downhaul, and in a minute we'll see a close-up of the downhaul so you get a better look at that. Okay, sail's all raised.
A little close-up here to show how the mast slide works. The mast is going right through the mast slide, and then it's down into the mast step. And then this little rope here is called the downhaul, and it goes right, has a clip on the end that clips to the ring nut on the attachment bolts of the mast step. And then you tighten it with this tensioner here. See, I'll release the tension. Now it's all slack. And I just slide it down to tighten it up. And the sheet line will run right through here, right through this strap. We'll attach the sheet to, say, this D-ring, and then it'll slide through that strap. Or we can put the rope fitting here at the end of the boom, and we'll attach the sheet directly to the end of the boom. That's all explained in the bolt kayak assembly video in great detail. So go take a look at that, and I hope the link is right here. And while I've got you, let me just put in a plug for the portage wheels. These things are fantastic. It just makes it so much easier to move your boat around. And they just slip right into the end of the front crossbar. See how that works? Just have those prongs, goes right into the ends of the front crossbar, right there. And suddenly your boat is mobile on land. Let's see if I can do this and be the cameraman at the same time. Isn't that convenient? I'm just wheeling this right into my garage.